Hello, 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 hello. Have I already said that? I don't know. So, admin day. I've just been to a doctor's practice. See if I could register with either a doctor or a dentist. The doctor retired 3 years ago, and the dentist retired 5 years ago. There is a problem living in rural France, and it's the issue of medical deserts. The receptionist said to me that I could travel to Bagnères de l'Orne and maybe find a doctor 30 kilometers away. So, if this is something you're looking for, if health is a concern, one of the criteria you're going to be wanting to have in your move is access to a GP. But something I am going to share. Okay, so I am in Saint-Cyril-en-Paille, and the reason I am here is to visit this patisserie. So I've been here before and it's featured in a video before. This is my favourite patisserie in France. €3, a jambon et beurre sandwich. It's the best in France. And in fact, she's made a mistake. She's given me jambon fromage et beurre, but I can live with that. And what I'm actually doing is breaking my journey. Sorry for the road noise. It is a busy road. What I'm doing is breaking my journey. I'm just on the way to Mayenne to get my windscreen repaired, courtesy of my insurance. But I'm well early, so yes, time to get a jambon et beurre sandwich inside me. Okay, let me introduce you to my new friend, who yesterday helped me cut the grass here. And in a way it's not a priority, in a way it is. I have more pressing things to do than cut the grass, but if I don't cut the grass, then it's going to get to a length that starts to become unmanageable. However, today my little friend, I don't think, wants to play. Well, that's good news. So this little fella comes with a tow bar, which is useful. But I also need to introduce you to his big brother, who actually comes with a grass box. And I'd like to get that grass box fitted. Well, that wasn't too difficult. So the green one, when I was using it yesterday, would cut out if the workload was too much for it, and I'd have to turn it off, wait a minute, turn it back on again. I haven't used the red one. Let's see how we get on with that. What didn't I check? Okay, there's a handle that you use to engage or disengage the blade. Doesn't seem to be working. And this is what I mean about moving into this property, or I suppose many properties, as being like an escape room, wanting to do something but needing to find or to complete the previous steps. So very fortunate to ride on lawnmowers. The sensible thing to do is to get them both serviced. I don't think I will find someone who would come here to service them, so I will have to take them somewhere, and in order to do that I need a trailer. And although I've friends who've offered me use of their trailer, I do want to buy one. It's just going to be invaluable, so I need to follow up on that as well. So I think for the time being we're back to little brother. So there we go. I've pretty much kept it the way the previous owners were managing it. Going around the edges, leaving some bits that we'll revisit at a later date. I would say I probably spent 3 hours today cutting the grass. But it was a first cut, it was long. Hopefully won't take that long next time. Although I'm always going to be covering the same distance, however long it is. But pleased with that. I didn't want it to get away from me. So I don't know if the camera can pick it up. This has been sat in basically a bucket of water for I don't know how long. So I can't use it, but I can dry it out. So that's the plan. Okay, I think slowly I'm getting a kitchen. So I think you'll have seen on the pictures from the estate agent's listing, next to the fireplace in this room there was a gym bench and a treadmill. So I've actually sold both of those, and then the wooden unit has come from the front room. I took the doors off it, and I've now got somewhere to store crockery and pans and things like this. I've also moved the fridge freezer over into this corner because it was in that corner in front of the storage racks. So by moving it, we've sort of opened up access to the storage racks a bit more. The whole kitchen, all of this part of the kitchen needs to change. So I have an electric hob and oven, which I'm currently using, a gas cooker, a really awful sink, and some very rickety storage. My initial instinct is to get rid of the gas cooker, but again, rural France, we do get power cuts. So if I was to keep the gas cooker, I'd always be able to make myself a meal if the power goes out. Decisions. I have to think up more on that. But at the moment, I'm just really happy with turning that corner around and opening up that. When the contents do come over, you know, I have got space to put it. There was stuff on here, there was like glassware on here, and I just constantly felt it was going to tip over. So, work in progress. Okay, nearly at the end of the second week. Really pleased with the way the kitchen is starting to look more like a kitchen. However, the reason the kitchen is starting to look like a kitchen is because the back of my car looks like this, and I am off to the local déchetterie. So that's a household waste recycling centre, or if you're old school like me, it's the rubbish dump. So in the UK, access for personal use is pretty much unrestricted. In France, I pay for access. So I pay, I think it's 115 euros a year for my waste disposal. And for that, I think I'm allowed, I think it's 20 trips to the déchetterie, either with a car or a trailer load. And then at the recycling centres, there are bins next to the recyclable bins for household waste, plastics, things like that. And I think I get about 15 or 20, I think I get 15 times I can open those bins. It's all done by a card, a digital access. And then anytime I think I visit the déchetterie or open one of those bins after that, it's €2 per time, which I guess is a good way of encouraging people to reduce their waste. So I can't really argue with it. And there we go then. A nice empty boot, and the kitchen looking much more like a kitchen. Really straightforward, loads of numbered bays, everything sorted, job done. I think you will get bored of hearing me say this, but it's another beautiful day. The orchard is starting to come alive. Trees coming into blossom, which is fantastic. So that was really another exploration. I wanted to see whether the chainsaw worked and how reliable it was. It seems okay, no complaints. Having said, and you know, that's a bucket of firewood filled there. Having said that, I had a fire last night. I didn't really need it. I think now we're going to start prepping firewood, perhaps for the winter. But that's great, you know. I'd love to have a load of it dried and ready, ready to go. Let's see how full we can get that wood store. Some of it is too big to get in the workbench, so I'm going to have to figure out another way of securing it. Okay, I think on that note, really, I think I'm going to end it for this week. Week 2, it's been another really good week. Lots done. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it was informative. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe. if you'd like to, let's mix it up. If you'd like to, feel free to buy me a coffee. And have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.